Well, hello and welcome to everyone joining us here today. I'm Fiona Lang Sharp, IBCLC Director of Communications and MC here at Gold Learning. Welcome to all of you joining us here today. We are talking about our upcoming Gold Lactation Online Conference 2021, and I am so delighted to be sitting down with friend and colleague Nekisha Killings, who is going to be our opening keynote at this year's conference. Welcome, Nekisha. It's so good to have you back at Gold here today.
It's so good to be back. Thank you, Fiona. I'm so excited. I am. This is going to be a good one.
I know I am a little bit giddy because we've been talking about this for so long. You and I have been working on some things in the background, and we're just excited that this has come to fruition. And here we are. We're
Yes.
just around the corner, March 29th. Nekisha, are you ready?
Yeah, as ready as I'm going to be, right? It's I am delivering this talk not just to the audience but to myself. We all are ready for it. Yeah.
That's right. I think that's the key thing. So let's tell people what the title is. If you haven't heard us talking about this at Gold yet, we're super excited, just as much as Nekisha. But here it is: Approaching Care When You're Barely There, Reimagining Empathy When You've Got Nothing Left to Give. Now, you might wonder why we're excited about it, because this is certainly something that has struck a nerve with so many healthcare professionals around the world, this topic in particular. But we're excited to share, collaborate, work together, find a way through, continue the journey. Right, Nekisha, this is what we're talking
Yes.
about.
Yes. Yes. It's so needed. I think that we all are collectively in a space of overwhelm, maybe coming out
Mhm.
of 2020, going into 2021, all the biggest, heaviest, most overwhelming parts of 2020 carried over into 2021. And
Sure.
I don't think we all expected it to last this long. I don't think we were prepared. We didn't have all the school tools in our toolkits to be able to last this long at the same level that we were performing and outputting early 2020 before the world went upside down. We weren't ready. We weren't prepared for this.
No, we weren't. And I think even in the early days, and you and I have stayed connected through this whole sort of process. We were talking weeks. We were talking not months and years. So here we are into our second year. And I think maybe that we were going to sit back and wait. There would be a pause. But for most of us, there was no pause. I mean, life doesn't stop. You've got family, relatives, young children, older children. Everybody's involved and engaged because everybody's asking questions. And then there's decisions that are having to be made as well. And they have been hard for families. So I think that
Yes.
the resonating factors around this topic are going to be lasting. Are we going to talk about things, Nekisha, that we can pull in other directions as well as lactation? I mean, how much are you going into this? Tell us a little bit about what's happening with this presentation.
Well, yes, I think none of us works compartmentalized, not as much as we need to or probably want to. Everything that we do is overlapping in some way, right? Touching what our work is touching our private lives, is touching our, volunteer lives, is touching, all parts of us, our
Mhm.
spiritual, physical, mental, emotional health. All of it is overlapping in ways that I think don't give us the luxury or the privilege of handling one piece at a time, slowly, intentionally taking care of one piece of ourselves at a time. Instead, no, I hope that the information I provide will be able to be effective and impactful in helping us all to deal and to cope better in all areas of our lives.
Mm, yeah, and I think that's really key when you talk about that. Now, life has not been easy for you either. I mean, you've been working hard on this, but you said you need this talk as much as the rest of us.
Sure.
So perhaps you can tell us what's been happening with you, what has changed over this past year. I think there's been quite a bit.
There always is. I am no different from anyone else who'll be listening on the 29th. It has been a year of upheaval, both in all the esoteric ways, but also my family actually moved cross country. We did a whole shifting of our lives and trying to reset and get reestablished in a new part of the country, and that um, compounded with pandemic and all sorts of other social justice challenges that we're
Mm,
facing, at least in the United States, no, globally.
I agree. I
Yeah,
agree.
are
Yeah.
all things that have impacted us, us as a family, and us as a community, and us as
Mm,
a world. Yeah, so I'm not immune in any way, but and the piece of this is we're in a helping profession. We are the folks who show up to help. My favorite quote from Dr. or Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Mr. Rogers, is when things are going wrong and there's so much tragedy and it looks like dismay. Always look for the helpers, and you see them if you're
mm,
even if you're watching a news story of disaster, you'll
mm-hmm,
see helpers
mm-hmm,
on the job doing what it takes to help to bring peace or help
mm-hmm,
to bring to rescue, escape, respite, whatever it is, there's
mm,
always helpers. Well, in this case, we are the helpers. We are the folks out there on the front line helping families who are in their most vulnerable state, but also in the middle of all the other things I listed. They're going through all of it. They're in their most vulnerable time. They have a brand new baby. There's so much questioning, so much insecurity, so much confusion, doubt, and to put a pandemic on top of that,
mm,
to the fact that many of them are not able to have their support persons with them in the birthing arena, or their family and friends around to support them through the early stages of breastfeeding support. They are in such a raw and vulnerable state. But for us as the helpers,
mm-hmm.
we tend to also pick up the things
Yes.
that the families are carrying while we're trying to also help them navigate through. It isn't quite fair. It isn't quite
Mm,
fair to be in the shoes of a helper if we don't have the tools that we need to manage what that looks like. And we react in different ways. Some of us completely shut down and close off,
mm,
and start to show less and less empathy and compassion towards those that we're helping. And there are reasons for that. And some of those are protective reasons, but none of them are good on either side, either for the folks being helped or for the helper. So we have some challenges ahead of us, and I hope that we can find our way through them. I know that we can. I know that we can.
Yeah, I agree with you. I know we can too. I have to say though, you are striking those nerves with me. Those words, even the word helper, as soon as you said it, I took a big in breath, a big kind of, you're
Yeah.
right, and I have to face those things like everyone else. I'm in a helping profession where I'm running out, and it's not a case of like, and I want to do better. And you know what? This is affecting our family, our friends, our extended family, our children, every part of me as a helper, and then all of a sudden sort of thinking, what am I doing? Why am I thinking these thoughts? Why do I feel this way? Why is it this time I haven't been able to get on top of it? Why is it that, I haven't been able to take a step back? So I think that, and I hope that resonates with you, Nekisha,
Yes.
as a wife and a mother and a daughter. And because I think that we've all had this similar experience. Now, it certainly, this has been a very challenging year for you. I know, as part of your community and what's happened in some of,
Yes.
those things that have happened for you as well. And I mean, we can't not but, explore that in the sense that, because this is, like you said, not just happening in the United States, although, coming out of there, it is affecting around the world. I would
Sure.
say, and I would say that, this is a conversation that has been started, but it cannot stop. I mean, we have to keep working at it here, together as well. And I think that that has also had, obviously, an impact on communities internationally as well. How
Yes.
how are you doing? I mean, how are things really for you right now?
You know what? That's a great question. Just within the last couple of days, I was at a board meeting. Those happen all the time. Nothing really unusual about that. It was my turn, as it were, to give the inspirational moment in the board meeting, and we
Sure.
on that board we trade that role, pass it around. It was my turn, and I thought, oh, I got this. I'm going to talk a bit about compassion fatigue and
Mm,
empathy, and just encourage everyone to hang in there. We're going to see the other side of this. And whew, about one sentence in, I started to get choked up because we don't realize we don't realize how much we're impacted in the moment. We don't take a
sure.
second to see. And I thought I was feeling. I was like, I'm coping pretty well these days, right?
Yeah,
I'm going to talk to the folks at Gold, and I'm going to give them some steps and some tools to move forward. I'm applying those steps myself. I'm doing pretty well, but yeah, about a sentence in, I was, you know,
yeah,
trying to maintain composure and not completely break down, because of
sure.
course every other person in the room is now, they're feeling the words I'm saying. We're very much in tune with one another, and we
Mm-hmm.
know we can sense that each one of us is in a space that's not great.
Right.
But then to articulate it and to put words to those feelings was just, it was really heavy. And I don't think anyone expected it, and least of all me in
Yeah.
that moment. So I am doing as well as the rest of us, one day at a time.
Right. One day at a time. Yeah. And I think this is, I mean, this is good in the sense that we're, again, this relatable part of life is, coming out. I think what's interesting is, as you mentioned, it is catching some of us off guard when we think that we've done some of that work to recover, restore, and regenerate our energies. It's still not quite there. And I think that's part of what I'm looking forward to. We need this doesn't end. I mean, this is a continuum. The conversation, we're still in the middle of a pandemic. There's still things happening in this world. And I think for the first time, we can honestly say that we need to take care of ourselves and
Yeah.
each other in order to move this profession forward. So thank you so much, Nekisha. I'm really looking forward to this.
Me as well. I really have put a lot of thought and time into it. I do not take this responsibility lightly. We talked about how many times I've been before you all, and I, so enjoy Gold and talking to your audience, and they talk back to me, and it's very much reciprocated love here. But this is different. This one is different. This one carries a weight. And I don't think, we won't get too much into how the sausage is made here, but there were talks. There were talks between Fiona and I and other staff members as we tried to carve out what is the message, what needs to
Hmm.
be heard in this moment, what do the folks need to hear, as we were getting to landing on this topic firmly. And I don't think any of us took it lightly at all. We resonated with us. We all knew this was a topic that needed to be discussed, but I have been really surprised and really honored by the folks who have reached out saying, I cannot wait to hear this. I need to hear this. You have no idea how important this is right now. I'm at my wit's end.
Hmm.
And I don't know, where to go from here. I have to keep working. I have to keep seeing families. They need me, but how can I make sure that I'm okay while I'm doing that, kind of thing? And um, so I do not take it lightly. I do not take it lightly. I don't think that it is, I don't think the fullness of it has even hit. I think that we'll see after the discussions, after it happens, where folks are and how we continue to have the conversation about being kinder and gentler to ourselves, so that
Hmm.
we can be so to others in this work, and so that we can maintain and make it till the end. That, I think, this is the beginning of a conversation that should
Yes.
go on. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I anticipate that this conversation will have, an immense ripple effect on many of us. So thank you so much. I know we are right around the corner as we speak today. March 29th is coming up very soon. Everybody listening right now, you have an opportunity to listen to this presentation absolutely free. Okay, it's an open access. You can share it with your colleagues, your friends, your families, whoever you think needs to hear this message. It will be open to you. All you need to do is go to our website right now, goldlactation.com, and register for this event. You'll also be able to come live, of course, as Nekisha will be here. She'll be live twice on that day. You can check out the time and your time zone twice. That's right. But it will be recorded. So if you're not available that day, you're having to work, or you're having to attend to something else, please know that this will be recorded as well, and it will be uploaded to our website, where you will also have access to it as well. Thank you so much to Nekisha Killings for being with us here today. Absolutely
Of
fabulous.
course.
Look forward to seeing you, my friend, right around the corner.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it. Tune in, y'all.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you again to all of our viewers. Thanks for sitting down with us here today. Do you have comments or questions? Pop them in down below right now. We can't wait to hear from you. And of course, we'll see you live at this event March 29th, goldlactation.com. Thank you for joining us here today, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye for now, everyone.
Bye bye.